Welcome to the Innovation Squadcast, making a positive difference in learning through innovation.
Welcome to Innovation Squadcast. Thanks for making us part of your educational PD journey. In episode 93, we're exploring the drone experience, where we delve into our exciting new experience with drone technology. We'll discuss how we are utilizing Codrone Edu to enhance learning in our classrooms. The integration of drones not only sparks student interest, but also aligns perfectly with writing and math standards. Through hands-on activities, students apply their knowledge in real-world scenarios, exploring how drones operate and the mathematics behind their flight paths. Join us as we share insights on the importance of creating a safe environment for drone operations, including the setting up of dedicated space, such as using a multi-purpose room gym or any room that will fit our flying tent in it, and be ready to bring this wonderful experience out to your school. I am Jimmy Kate.
Jeremy Osborne.
Eileen Fernandez-Parker.
And we are Innovative Learning Coordinators at Berkeley County School District. And we brought this drone experience, something we've been working on for quite a few years, seeing the different, drones at different conferences and things like that. And then finally being able to bring this was a pretty exciting, introduction. Jeremy, when we talked about Codrone Edu and overview of what are some of the key benefits of those drones?
Well, I think, anytime that you can do coding in a real world experience and not just sitting behind a computer and coding just the code, you're coding to make a robot move or make a drone fly. I think it brings a lot more of that real world experience for the kids. And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. And Eileen, I know you've done a lot of research on drones specifically as far as careers and the benefits of them. What kind of information have you found that would be good for our students and teachers to hear?
Yeah, so with a high school diploma, as long as they are FAA certified, any of our students could make $50,000 their first year flying a drone for some of the companies that do the trees and land, surveying. And then very quickly they can be making 80 grand. And some of our teachers aren't even making 80 grand. So, that kind of information is super powerful when kids, especially some of our Title I schools, you can feel hopeless that you don't have opportunities, but they do have opportunities. Yeah. So we need to let them know.
Yeah. And it's a growing field. We don't know what the future looks like for drone. I don't think it's going anywhere when it comes to the technologies, but there's lots of different applications. And part of the experience is letting the students kind of research those, experiences as well. And the ones, shout out to Miss Rogers and Miss Wang over at Bowen's Corner and what they put together. But it was pretty nice to see the information that the students had about drones and what they learned. So
yeah, that was really interesting. They were spitting out all sorts of facts about, how to fly drones and, some of the regulations and stuff, things that we had to go through to get FAA certified.
Right.
We're not going to bring up any of that stuff because I think we'll all start twitching in our seats. But, it was interesting for them to be able to go through and see some of those things, like what you have to do, what kind of jobs, how much money you can make. Most of our kids are exposed to it. You hold up a drone and everybody knows what it is, but not a lot of them have flown them or experienced it or done the research. Like, what can you do? It's not just a toy. These small ones that we have, are not going to be used to carry things, but all sorts of different things, and to see them go through some of those jobs. And then we were able to expose them to a few more jobs to get them even thinking even further about things that you can do with drones.
Yeah,
so it was a lot of fun.
It was a great way to bring in research skills, a great way to bring in writing skills, getting kids excited about writing. When you talk about TDAs at that level, it's not always the most exciting thing, but to have drones on it and then, research and then write about drones and then be able to go actually fly and then code drones, that's a pretty, nice transition, at least get the kids somewhat excited about writing. So yeah. I know that makes your heart happy.
I know, right? And I mean, as a writing teacher, I went really hard on the research and the formal writing, but if I were in the classroom today, I would really be doing blogging with my kids, and it's a totally different voice when they write. And, how do you draw people in so that they want to read more? And it really goes into the SEO of a website too, because the longer people are on your site, the more the higher you get in the Google ratings.
Right.
And these are the kinds of things that we can share with kids because that makes them super valuable when they go out, into the workforce. But some things that I didn't mention are, the cameras that are on drones. They're being used by the military. They're being used by real estate, photography. People are having their weddings shot by drones. And so it doesn't have to be, something that's land surveying, which might not seem interesting to anybody, in the middle or high school. But, people who are artistic, and they have that eye, they can learn to do that. Roofers now, too, they don't send people up onto roofs and chimney, when they're fixing chimneys, they send a drone up to see, is there anything wrong? What do we need to do?
Right. Yeah, and so
movie production.
Yeah, another big one as well. If you want to get into films, So, so if you're a writing teacher, again, you got all the ability to create this drone experience. So, Jeremy, what does the drone experience look like if they were to sign up with the ILCs to bring in this drone experience?
So we've only done it a few times, but right now we're working, and it's looking more like a 2-day kind of experience. It can be back-to-back days, or we can kind of spread it out. One day is really about the research, coming in, using some AI and getting into the research, going into careers, what kind of training, what kind of certifications, and giving them kind of guidelines to go through and do some of that research. And then day 2 is when we get into what we call flight school.
Right.
And flight school is when, we really dive into the coding challenges, give them some experience with using the remote to fly. Our remotes are a little bit different than what you would see if you were doing this as a career, but it still gives them that experience of how to maneuver and manipulate the drones using the remote. And then we have, the coding challenge at the end where they get to try to earn some points based off of, completing some different challenges. And it's a lot of fun. The kids get really competitive. Encourage each other, sometimes not encourage each other so that they could win. But it was really fun to do, and we're really looking forward to taking it out and experiencing it more with more classes and things like that.
And I think for our mathematics teachers too, we're looking, and this is part of the podcast and getting us out there, is that we also want to hear what other ways can we use this, because there's measurement involved, there's percents involved, so there's all kind of very innovative ways that we can use these to teach those same kind of mathematics skills, whether it's measurement, whether it's percents and fractions and different ways. So we definitely want to hear from our teachers that if you're wanted to do something with that with drones, we would definitely have that conversation, and because we just haven't done that yet, we're still exploring it. It's a brand new experience, and we need our teachers out there to help kind of build these experiences with us. So definitely, if you're a math teacher, reach out and let's find some ways to be able to use this drone experience. But we'll still do some of the research stuff that goes along with that, even with teaching with a math class. And so there's no issues there. But we want to also do some of that as well. So
and I think we also get into a lot of those soft skills that we talk about. This is great for collaboration. You see that those groups of kids having to collaborate on how to code, what they have to change, what works, what doesn't work. They really have to work together. There's not a way that they can each do their own thing. The creativity and problem solving more than anything. It's not going to work the first time. You're going to have to go in, you're going to have to change your code, you're going to have to figure out some things. And we even had some kids in some groups figure out stuff that we hadn't seen yet with the coding to be able to control it. And, they were, that's cheating. No, it's not. They're being creative. They're figuring things out. So it was really fun to see the way that they were able to come up with that stuff.
So if they're wanting to bring this to their school, what things are they going to need? We talked, one of them, safety is obviously the priority. So what kind of dedicated flying spaces are they going to need to make this kind of happen?
Yeah, so I think the most successful will be in a multi-purpose room, a gym. We can make it work in really any classroom that has 11-foot ceilings, but we have a 10 by 20 tent.
But the drones have to be flown in for safety.
The drones have to be flown in for safety, so they're not flying all over the place, for our safety and for the kids' safety. So to make sure that we don't get anybody injured. But as far as other equipment, really just the kids' Chromebooks. We bring everything in, set it all up, and we're there to make sure that everything goes smoothly, or as smoothly as it can.
Right. And we need about an hour and a half, I think, for the full kind of flight school to kind of do its thing. So again, middle schools may be a multi-day kind of situation, or multiple classes. So, but just to make sure you go through the whole kind of where we teach them to fly, teaching about the drones, and then going through the actual coding challenge was about an hour and a half. So
yeah, I think if you're interested in it, I think the best thing to do is just reach out to one of us.
Yep.
Let us know, hey, I'm interested in it. Let's see. We'll sit down, figure out what we can do, when we can do it. We might have to split it up over multiple days, and that's fine. We can make things work with our schedules. So
yes, absolutely. So
Yeah.
So again, connecting to our standards, writing standards, again, documenting the whole drone experience, research, there's lots of different ways I think that we can connect drones to writing. Math standards, same thing. We want to hear from our teachers, calculating flight paths, distances, angles, percents, fractions. So there's lots of different measurements. So lots of different ways to do that as well. And then if you're a teacher out there that's science or technology or anything, really, physics, we want to hear from you guys. What ways could you think that this can help kind of highlight something that's going on in the classroom to connect to those standards to be able to kind of make that, something that we want to do. So
yeah, float those ideas to us.
Absolutely.
We'll make it happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're excited about growing the drone experience and really getting it to be what it is, but also being able to teach about different drones and then get the kids excited about all of that as well. So, leave anything out?
I don't think so.
No, I think so either. So
Yeah, it's exciting.
it's coding, it's problem solving, it's critical thinking, it's communication, it's collaboration, it's all those wonderful things. So we're excited about being able to bring this to your school. So please reach out to us. We'd be more than happy. Check out the show notes. We've got some links here. Again, special shout out to Miss Rogers and Miss Wang at Bowen's Corner, who really did an amazing job researching, presenting their findings, and then really working well with the drones. And this was a fifth grade class that did
those kids too.
Nice.
Those kids did an amazing job. It was a lot of fun to see them go through that process, and they blew us away with some of the stuff that they were able to find with the research and also figure out through the coding. So it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. So on the show notes, there's a link to the Innovation Squadcast PD. So make sure you sign up and register through Unified Talent. Every 2 episodes, you get 1 hour of renewal credit by filling out a Google form showing us what you learned and how you're going to apply this in the classroom. Don't forget to register or subscribe on YouTube or Spotify or wherever you get your podcast to get updates of the newest episodes. And again, reach out to us. We want to hear from you. Do you want to be on the show? Do you got topics? Do you want to do the drones and don't know how to do it? Again, contact your ILC, and we'll be more than happy to come out, have that planning meeting, and get the drones out to your school. Thank you guys so much for being here. Can't wait to see you guys out there with the drones. Until next time, keep innovating.